Hello, this is the second video in a three-part series about workout journals. We talked about why you need to track your workouts. Today we're going to talk about what to track. And in part three, we're going to talk about how to track your workouts. I think this topic is so important that we need to look at each one of those in detail. This is the difference between success and failure. This is the difference between long-term progress or just kind of doing stuff. My name is Chris Butterworth. This is the Healthy Butter channel, and here we talk about being in our 50s, 60s, and fighting off father time, the effects of father time, every day, every step of the way. At 56 years old today, I feel great. When I turned 50, I had chronic pain in my back. I've gone through elbow, shoulder, and come out the other side better for it. And functional fitness, kettlebells, club, Mace, these were the tools that I used. I was able to figure out my own program. I kind of built something that worked, and I'm trying to share that with the group here. I would love to have a community so that we can ask each other questions, lean on each other, and you have something that I didn't have as you're going through your journey. With that, let's get to it. So if we're going to keep a workout journal, and we need to know what to track. As I kept my journal, I've used a couple of different formats over the way. We'll talk about that in the next video. I've tracked slightly different things along the way, and that's what brings me to this video, is what are we tracking? And there are two components to what you need to track. There is the hard information, factual information. There is what equipment did you use? I did a kettlebell workout today. I did a club workout. I did a Mace workout. What workout did you actually do? I did kettlebell cleans, or I did single arm clubs, or double two-handed clubs. Whatever it is, you want to say your equipment and the workout that you did. What weight did you use? 25-pound kettlebell, 35-pound kettlebell, whatever it was. How many sets did you do, and how many reps did you do? The way that this was taught to me is you want to also note whether you did right hand or left hand or combined. I don't think that you need to track at that level. We're assuming that in this program we're going to do everything in balance. So if you do 6 sets of 8 with your left hand, you're also going to do 6 sets of 8 with your right hand. In fact, most of the time it's going to be 8 reps with the left hand, 8 reps with the right hand, and put it down, and that's 1 set. So when we say that we're doing 6 sets of 8, single arm, whatever it was, we know that we did left and right. If for some reason you are doing it differently, if you're doing only left hand today and you're only going to do right hand tomorrow, write that down. Anytime that we do two-handed stuff, two-handed swings, two-handed club, Mace, that's a two-handed exercise. And so there's not a difference between left and right. So it just has to make sense there. Another thing that we want to track is the work ratio. How much work did you do compared to how much rest did you get? And sometimes that's based on the style of the timer. So if you're doing, again, I'm going to use 6 sets of 8 as an example. You might be doing it on an EMOM, every minute on the minute. So you go left hand, 8 reps, right hand, 8 reps, and maybe that took you 28 seconds. And then you put it down, and that means you get 32 seconds of rest. So your work rate would be 28 minutes of work to 32 seconds of rest. As your sets get a little bit longer, at 32 seconds of work and 28 seconds of rest, it's a little bit more physical and a little shorter rest. And that's why higher reps in each set is harder, right? Density is harder. When you get to sets of 10, you get to sets of 12, pretty soon the timer is going to be at like 50 seconds, 52 seconds, and you only get 8 seconds of rest. And you may get to the point where you don't want to do an EMOM anymore. And so you start saying, well, I'm going to do my workouts, but then I'm going to just take a fixed 25-second rest, and then I'll start the next set. And so whatever it is, that's what you want to log. Each set was taking me 52 seconds of work, and then I took 25 seconds of rest, and then I did the next set. And the last thing that I track for this is total time. So for the hard facts, the equipment, the actual exercise that you did, the weight, sets, reps, your work ratio, how much work and how much rest, the style of timer, whether it was EMOM or a fixed rest time, and the total time of the workout. With that, you will be in a great position next time to see what your workout was, and if you go up a step, you know exactly what it was. If you did 6 sets of 8 last time, then you're probably going to do 7 sets of 8 this time. So that makes it a lot easier. If there's any sort of nuance or indecision there, it might be because of the soft items that you need to track. And that's what I would add in addition to the actual factual stuff is, how did you feel? How was the workout? What mood were you in? Any of those things that might not pertain to the actual numbers, but this workout was really hard. I got through it, but it was a bear. I've had times where physically each individual set doesn't kill me, but I'm just not mentally in the game. Like, it's a grind to get through it. And so I might say this one was really mentally challenging. This was a really hard workout mentally, even though physically I got through each set okay. There's other times where, I was working out outside and it was hotter than I thought it was going to be. I was out in the sun and it was hot, and I took an extra long break. I had to go in the shade and towel off and take a 3-minute break instead of a 30-second break. You might put something like that in there. If you're not feeling well, if you got a little ding in here and you kind of worked through it, but it was harder than it should have been. You might even tell yourself, hey, next time I think we should do this same set again. Don't move up next time. Or you might say, hey, this one is getting pretty easy. I've done it twice now. This particular workout is pretty easy. Let's move up next time. And that makes your future self, makes life for your future self a lot easier. You're going to do your workout, you look at the last one, hey, move up next time, boom, I feel good today, I told myself to move up, let's go. And you already know exactly what the workout is. So what to track? I would track the hard stuff for sure. And I think it's really helpful when you track the soft stuff. The other thing is, when you go back in time and you look at your old workouts, you'll kind of remember those soft things, like, oh, that really hot day that I was outside. Or it might even give you some motivation, like when you read a note about how you were mentally challenged on that particular workout. It was really tough, but you fought your way through it. And you feel good about it. Like it gives you a little bit of confidence in yourself that you can get through that kind of stuff. So hopefully this helps as you're building your program and you want to be consistent and you want to do good work. It doesn't have to be max effort. Good work, solid work, consistently over time is what's going to fix us and keep us healthy and keep us going and fighting off Father Time. And one of the ways that we can be successful with that is with a workout journal. And one of the ways to make the journal work is to track the right stuff. So hope this was helpful. Hope you think more about what to track as you build your journal. And I hope you're able to put together a pretty good program that works for you. That's it for today. Have a great day. Go get better.